So in this video, I'll be checking out the BOTSLAB Dashcam G980H. This is a dual camera bundle that offers a 4K front and 1080p rear facing camera. It has ADAS support, 170-degree field of view, UHD night vision, driver fatigue reminders, the ones that you all love to hear, and it also has GPS route recording as well. Has 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi bands, so you can connect to it and monitor it through your phone. And on the back, there's a 2.45 inch screen display to interact, change settings, as well as view back recordings. Okay, so that's a brief summary. Let's check out what's inside the box. Okay, so here's what you get inside the box. You get quite a comprehensive user manual to tell you how to operate the camera as well as install it. You get the 4K front-facing camera itself. There is a fairly long micro USB and USB-A charging cable to power the dash cam. You get a 12-volt adapter with a USB plug to power it. There is a rather long reverse camera and cable that comes pre-attached, and there's no splice wires needed. It just connects via this mini HDMI socket at the top there, and you've got a rather long cable to feed it to the back of the car. And then you have a prying tool to do all the prying of feeding the cable in between your car interior. You get given a 64GB memory card, so that's very good to see. You get a spare adhesive mount to match the one that's already comes pre-installed, and you get 2 mounting stickers should you not wish to attach it directly to your car windscreen. Okay, looking over the dash camera then, it's a kind of Snickers sized kind of casing in terms of its width, length and thickness. You have a mount that comes pre-attached. This come off once you've got this stuck to the windscreen, and as I showed earlier, there are 2 adhesive pads to attach it to. On the top there, you've got a micro USB to power the dash cam, and then you've got this micro HDMI port to power the rear facing camera. Also on this side, we've got the TF card input port to attach the memory card into, some branding and 4K enhanced AI camera mentioned on the front here, and the actual camera itself. Underneath this lens, we've got a Sony Starvis IMX415 sensor, and I've seen that in the past, and it's a superb sensor for image clarity both in day and night, so we'll be checking that out soon. Over on the right side, we've just got a status light indicator there to let you know that it's being powered. On the bottom, we have 3 buttons here and a microphone input hole there, and these buttons function the display on the other side, as well as shortcuts to get access to muting, volume, powering the display and quickly accessing settings, as well as viewing whatever's been recorded as well. Over on the back, we've got the display itself. It's not full screen. I don't think any of this area is touchable or illuminated with controls, which is a shame because it would have been nice to fill that with an entire large display, but it wouldn't really match the ratio of what the camera can actually see. So I can understand why they've done it in that small area there, but still would have been nice to have touchscreen options here rather than it overlaying the actual display. And the mount can be moved on the top here to get the best angle out of your front windscreen, which is quite a nice touch. It doesn't rock from side to side, so you do actually have to place it the correct way to get the best view out of your front window. Let's get this quickly powered up just to see what it can do on the display side before we jump in the car. Right, we're going to connect this up to the 12-volt adapter that's down in my desk here, so I'm going to plug this in now. Right, so that's a jolly little jingle there, and we're being told to insert the memory card. So we'll do that now. We have a BOTSLAB branded micro SD card there. We're going to plug that in, hopefully the right way around. So we've inserted the TF card.
Format memory card. Storage card formatted successfully. Start recording.
Right, so we're now into the actual system itself, and we've got a horizontal and vertical lines there so we can align it when we actually have it connected to our dashboard. A couple of status indicators at the top there telling us what resolution we are recording in, whether its microphone is being used, and if the rear video camera is also connected. Some jog buttons here. It isn't touchscreen, unfortunately. You have to use the 3 options that coincide with the 3 buttons that are underneath. We're just going to align that temporarily just to get us into the main menu. So first things first, we're going to connect up the app. So we're going to take our phone here and scan the QR code to get access to the app. Going to take us to the App Store and download the BOTSLAB app. We've had this pre-installed because I've covered the BOTSLAB video doorbell in the past. You can check out my review up there. So let's add the device. So we need to connect to the phone. So it's telling us to go into the settings, connect your phone, and Bluetooth pairing. So we are connected, searching for devices, found it. So we connected, we can give it a name if we need to, and we are now connected. It's downloaded a new version, so we're going to download that so that we're running the latest version of the operating system on the actual camera itself. So we'll just wait for that to finish.
A few moments later.
Firmware upgrade completed. System restarting.
So once you're in the app, you can actually see the live feed, as well as view the videos back that you've recorded on both cameras. You can start and stop recording, take snapshots, and also view the GPS data from those recordings as well. So that's the rear view camera, which is obviously upside down because of basically how it's mounted. And we can go into the dash cam settings where we can go through the recorded resolution. So it will do 4K at 25 frames per second, which is a little bit of a shame, but it will do 1080p at 60. We can do voice recording. What's the speed of the video, whether it's miles per hour or kilometers per hour. Whether you want to show the video logo, we'll turn that off. Speaker volume of the actual unit itself. Time display, what screensaver you want, whether it's to show the actual clock or just turn off completely. When to trigger the screensaver. The sensitivity of parking monitoring, so if the car gets jolted, the camera can kick in and start recording. How long it's idle for when it shuts down. Sensitivity of emergency recording. Whether you want this fatigue reminder to be turned on. Time lapse if you want to use this. Sensitivity of lane exit detection, as well as distance sensitivity for pedestrians and cars. And you've got the options to turn those off as well if they start to become a little bit naggy. Change the password for Wi-Fi connection. You can format, change language, and update the dashcam firmware that we've just done recently. So that's the app. So let's look at the actual display itself then. Again, pressing down will take you to the settings screen with a bit of a confirmation on the button presses there. We've got recording settings, which we've kind of looked over already on the actual app, and I think it's a little bit better and more intuitive to be doing it through the app. Otherwise, you can go through here and turn those settings on and off. Park monitoring, which you can turn on and off as well and change those settings there. Driving assistant, system settings, and about the device. So that's basically it. Everything can be done through the app, and I think that's a little bit more preferred for me personally. So we go back there. We've got switching between the rear and the front facing cameras. And then here we can actually
terminate recording.
Go back and view the content that we've recorded directly on the device itself without going through the app.
Start recording.
And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. That's a relatively okay screen resolution and quality. Plenty of data there to tell you what's actually being monitored and what's being turned on and what things are connected to it. You've got the date there as well and the clear visibility of it being recorded. You've got this sort of green light that's flashing to let you know it's operational. Obviously, if you have this mounted to the left and you're on the right hand side vehicle, you won't see this. And I like that these cables are all pointing upwards, so you've got to get better cable management that way too. All right, so that's basically it. That just leaves us to now jump in the car and see how well this all gets installed and a couple of drives both in day and night time. So I'll see you over there. Right, so we're in the Golf and we've got the BOTSLAB dash cam here ready to get installed. Rather than using the battery in the Golf, which seems to run flat at the moment quite regularly for me because of all the testing that I do in the car, I'm going to use a battery bank with the power cable connected to it so I can actually position the camera and get the right view that I want without wasting too much of the battery. So we're going to take off this adhesive pad, whack it up here and get this thing installed onto the windscreen. So that's the camera installed. Do bear in mind that the adhesive pad does have a good adhesion, so do make sure that you push it onto the windscreen exactly where you want it, mostly bearing in mind the horizontal, making sure that that's straight. I've done it slightly off kilter. I should have bared that in mind, and I tried to take it off and it's really hard to take off. Do make sure you get it right, and obviously do make it sure that you can actually see the screen as well. You might want to tuck it up into the top here. The camera is on the left hand side, so you can mount it quite discreetly behind the rear view mirror here, so that's quite good to see. But it all comes down to the cable management, where you do have lots of cable to use to take it across the top here, down and through the glove box and into the 12-volt adapter. For me specifically, it's down in the center console, but you might have it more closer to you, so, or in the glove box perhaps, and you can actually install the 12-volt adapter and plug the USB cable in that way. So we've configured everything in the settings. So that is pretty much the install really. That's really nice and quick. It's up and running, shooting in 4K, recording right now onto the bundled SD card. All the date and time has stayed intact. happy days. Let's hook in the rear view camera onto the back windscreen so you've got a rear view as well. Make sure that you've got both cables attached before you stick the adhesive to the windscreen. Or the best thing is that you can actually slide this thing off, which I've just remembered, so that you can get this thing attached properly, like so, and then reattach the mount back onto the adhesive mount. Okay, plenty of cable here, so it's going to be very easy to get this in a discreet way over to the back of the car. But I'm going to do it pretty ad hoc initially, so I can just show you how it all works. Right, so we're at the back. We're going to plug this in. I'm not going to do an external install. I'm going to plug this into the back windscreen, give it a little bit of a polish, and just make sure that this is nicely attached to the back windscreen so it shoots at a good angle. It is upside down, so you do have to make sure that that is at the top. Let's get this installed. We'll be using the live dash view here so I can actually position it properly. There is a slight delay on the feed, but that's good enough, I think. We'll put the remaining cable up here, but obviously you're going to do a much more neater install, aren't you? So that's the rear installed and the front installed. That just leaves us now to do a bit of a drive, see how good the daytime quality is.
Just help yourself.
Is that because I don't know what that is. Buzz these days, so you get like bings and bongs and
It says 9:04. So.
some cameras have got like a dash. Okay, so I've had some time now with the BOTSLAB 4K dashcam, and my overall impressions are unanimously positive. It's a fantastic camera. I've used a number of dash cameras in the past, but they really are getting much better over the years. It comes very close to the dash cam that I reviewed also on this channel, in that they both have this Sony Starvis sensor. With this sensor though, it does pack a very good image quality both in day and nighttime recording. The dash cam itself does pack away quite discreetly as well. However, its mount is on the right hand side, or the left hand side if you face it this way. So if you do mount it near your rearview mirror, with this mount it may be geared to mounting for left hand drive vehicles. So in the UK and other territories with right hand drive, this right hand mounting might push the camera a little bit further away from where you actually need it. Personally, I would have liked to have seen the mount in the center and the image LCD display center, or at least cover the whole entire back portion of the camera itself, so it's a little bit more universal. Without the back display not being touchscreen, it did make it a little bit harder to navigate menus just using the 3 buttons underneath. However, you can just connect via Bluetooth and Wi-Fi to your mobile phone and alter the settings and view videos that way, so it's not the end of the world. Its screen is large enough to view back videos and navigating its settings menus fairly well from your car seat, so that's really good to see too. Its connecting app is very good as well. You can quickly connect to it via Bluetooth and it will maintain the Wi-Fi signal if it is competing with any other Wi-Fi signals that are around your car at the time. And navigating the app is super easy, and viewing and offloading videos are very quick to do too, thanks to its high band Wi-Fi connection. I'd like to have seen the USB-C standard adopted for its power connector. Should you have a previous USB-C connection in the car, and you can just hook it up into that port very quickly. You can obviously use adapters, but it would have been nice in today's day and age to have a USB-C port instead. I found its audio pickup also quite decent. It does pick up quite a lot of the road noise though, if your car does have a loud road noise in the interior. Fucking hell. But I did find it very easily pick up the conversations in the car, but then you don't have to have the audio recording either. But if you did, it does a very good job of recording the audio. It's also worth pointing out that there is no rear camera audio. Both videos from the front and rear facing camera share the same audio from the main camera itself. There was a little bug with the display showing kilometers per hour when miles an hour is set, but that's like an AR setting over the display itself, and as you view back in the app, the actual miles an hour or kilometers an hour that you might set is stamped in each of the videos, along with latitude and longitude, time and the date as well. But it is one of the best cameras that I've tested for its quality, thanks to the Sony sensor that's inside. Everything is pin sharp thanks to its 4K resolution, meaning that you can actually look offside onto the other side of the road and still be able to read the number plates and details that you might need for any claims from the recordings. However, its rear facing 1080p camera is a little bit to be desired. It's a shame that it doesn't really match the quality of the front facing camera, but its feed is okay. It does a good enough job, definitely not the worst that I've seen. And when viewing back in the app, it does look quite good, but when you view it in full screen, it does show its quality difference between the front facing camera and the rear camera. I did have it mounted inside the car, so external mounting might be a little bit clearer and handle the light a little bit better. But considering this is also shooting through a windscreen as well, I would say the comparisons is quite valid between the two. I would say my biggest criticism is its ADAS feature, in that it does nag a lot in its sort of default and high modes.
Front car start. Detected abrupt deceleration driving behavior. Pedestrians in vicinity. Detected aggressive driving behavior. Too close.
So do bear that in mind, and luckily you can turn all these things off. But I was getting lots of alerts or false alerts from being too close to a car. Cars pulling away from you, warnings were a little bit too sudden, and also I could have done without. Passenger warnings were infrequent, but it was very obvious if you're paying attention to the road anyway that there is a pedestrian to be alerted about. But lane changing and aggressive cornering I was getting a lot of, and I don't think I'm an aggressive driver.
Pedestrians in vicinity.
Very different.
Detected aggressive cornering driving behavior. Please drive safely.
Shut up.
So I'd say the sensitivity is a little bit too sensitive on this for these particular warnings, and I would personally turn those off. So the BOTSLAB 4K dash camera retails currently for $219.99 from Amazon, and I'll leave links down below so you can learn more about this camera, support the channel and buy yourself one. Overall, fantastic camera with good quality, lots of features, and it all comes in a nice, fairly discreet package as well. You don't need to splice in the rear view camera, it's all self-connected and self-powered, so that's a good addition. Plus they supply the 64 gig card, so you've got everything to get up and running as soon as you open up the box. So if you're looking for a decent 4K camera with a fantastic Sony Starvis sensor, then I'll definitely check this little one out. Alright, thanks for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful. Give us a thumbs up if it has, and let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions about the BOTSLAB 4K dashcam, and I'll do my best to answer them. You can send us a super thanks to support my channel along with your comment or question. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye.